We're looking at the Yarra River over time and how some of the metrics change, things like temperature and water quality and pH and anything else we can find information on.
The Department of Sustainability and Environment have an enormous amount of data on whales and the whales that live around the Southern Ocean and around Australian waters. I'm going to take that text information and visualise it in an app that will make it look beautiful. I have a 3D model of Australia with the ocean around it, and I'm going to show the locations that the whale lives, but then I'm also going to have an animated model of the whale swimming through the scene that you see.
Using Hansard data, we're trying to explore the idea of how politicians use their language, so whether they use positive, negative or neutral language, and how that can change over time.
We're contributing to the public debate on immigration and asylum seekers by creating a really good visualisation showing the relative numbers of boat people, other kinds of asylum seekers and other streams of immigration. We're going to have no graphs, no pie charts, just little dots showing actual individual people as they travel around the world.
We're working on painting a picture of Australia through trade with other countries.
We're putting together an interactive 3D map of access to public transport in the City of Melbourne. We're trying to map out areas which are most disadvantaged and areas which need improvement.
A lot of government data is locked up in PDFs and formats that are really difficult to use. So we've built Unlocked, and it's a really simple web interface that allows public servants to drop their data, and the computer will take care of it and turn it into something that a researcher can really easily use.
My project is about visualization of gas, electricity and coal consumption over 40 years across Australian states, and I'm trying to mash up a mapping component with a beautiful visualization tool so people can easily see the consumption of fuel across Australia.
In an exploded view of a place, tourists can find very important data like information for that place, features of the places, activities he or she can do there, health services over there, and also temperature and weather condition, so that it becomes easier for a user to decide when and where to go in Australia.
The problem is a lot of people don't know which way to vote because they're not sure how politicians stand on the big issues.
We took Hansard and created an app to show you how politicians voted on the issues you're concerned about.
Our project is making a piece of music from data. We're using predicted population growth from Victoria to manipulate music and come up with a composition called Future Melbourne.
Wow.
We want to look at Melbourne's population growth and also the infrastructure spend of Victoria and draw a connection between the two figures. And when we looked at the data, we realised that there was a striking result, and it wasn't what people had expected.
So even though the data's on the internet, it is just too huge and generally too meaningless. It's pretty much just a big pile of numbers to everyone who looks at it. So it looks like this. It's a file, it's a model, you can print it off a 3D printer, it could be anything. So it could be temperature across the top, and it could be the rainfall across the bottom, or it could be your favourite band, but basically if you can find the data, it can make it.
We've taken a data set of ABC transmission towers from around the country, and we've combined it with some topographical information of Australia's landmass, and done a bit of ray tracing to create some coverage maps.
I'm not trying to solve a problem or anything, I just want to make something really cool. It's basically, you have a lot of census data, you have it graphed all at once, and you choose some dimensions, say like age, and you want to see all the people like grouped by area where the median age is like 60 to 80 or something, and who make at least $2,000 a month. And then that'll select only those suburbs or statistical areas and show them to you on a map and colour it in, telling you how many people there are there.
We've extracted data from the Atlas of Living Australia. We want to make a thing, so like a web page that can work on your mobile as well, where You just put in a location and it'll give you back like a list of animals or plants or those kind of nature-like things that can be found in the area, and then you can like check them off when you find them, kind of thing. That's essentially the gist of it, and then you can sort of room for growth there, so you can add like info for each thing or filter out by certain categories of animal or plant and that kind of stuff.
This project is about visualising data that is relevant to you and where you are. So where about?
We're using tourist information, restaurants, hotels, Wi-Fi hotspots and things like boat ramps.
My project is about to present the government data in 25 different languages, so all 25 different community language. So people don't speak English as their first language, they can still have access to those government data. That's my project about.
There's some very good quality data with the Australian Bureau of Statistics, which we intend to draw on. And we're going to, of course, do this in the most sensitive way possible, but really try and draw the stark contrast between the quality of life and the life expectancy of Indigenous Australians versus non-Indigenous. And we think that's highly appropriate given that Reconciliation Week has just passed, and this weekend we have the Reconciliation March.
I'm very passionate about this, as is Michael.
It's a tree concept which represents life and death. So each leaf represents a life, and a new leaf is born. It means a new baby is born in Australia. So my illustration is based upon the data provided by Australian Bureau of Statistics, and I also represented the death. When a leaf falls down, it represents the death. So hopefully you guys are gonna like this concept.
Awesome. Joined a good team. Well, great team, obviously. Adam here, smashing up, full stack. Mike, full stack. We got Joe, front face, does it all. And me, I'm just the guy with the ideas, the problem solver. Yeah, so it's been awesome.